Prince Harry, whose memoir just broke the Guinness record for fastest-selling nonfiction book of all time. They're now releasing a version for kids. I don't know if you know about this. It's a twist on The Princess and the Pea. It's called The Prince and the Penis, and it's
Place in microwave. What is microwave? I don't think we have any of that. Harry, do we have any microwave?
It's a microwave, silly.
Don't talk to me like that, you bitch! I'm a fucking duchess! Shake that off!
Oh!
The 60 Minutes interview was a great chance to hear Harry and Meghan's story in case you missed their 2-hour sit-down with Oprah or their 6-part Netflix documentary.
What is the number one question that mystifies scientists?
Is there life on another planet?
Oh, no. Why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags?
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing.
The moment Jimmy Kimmel mocked Meghan Markle and Prince Harry on live television, something snapped. This wasn't a tabloid jab or a fringe internet joke. It was mainstream Hollywood saying, "We're done pretending." During his monologue, Kimmel didn't celebrate Prince Harry's record-breaking memoir, he demolished it, turning the moment into a brutal parody that instantly went viral. That single segment did more damage than 1,000 opinion columns, because once late-night comedy laughs at you, public sympathy evaporates.
And by the way, they should hope that the kid looks more like Meghan than Harry. No offense, but Harry kind of looks like the guy who played Screech, may he rest in peace.
Kimmel didn't just make jokes, he broke the silence. And the second he did, the entire entertainment industry followed. When Prince Harry's memoir broke sales records, most celebrities stayed silent. Jimmy Kimmel didn't. On live television, he turned that so-called achievement into a punchline, parodying the book as a children's story and mocking how it leaned into personal grievance.
Harry said racism was a big part of their decision to leave, which you know things were bad at Buckingham Palace if they came to America to get away from racism.
The audience didn't gasp, they laughed. And that reaction mattered. It proved the couple no longer commanded sympathy. Kimmel also went after Harry's image, something no major host had dared to do publicly. This wasn't whispering behind closed doors. This was primetime television. Once that line was crossed, everyone else felt safe piling on. That monologue wasn't entertainment. It was a cultural verdict.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
For a long time, entertainers avoided touching this couple publicly. After Jimmy Kimmel proved it was safe to joke openly, the industry followed instantly. The optics were dangerous. But once one major host went in openly, everything changed. The industry followed fast. Comedy has a domino effect. Once the off-limit sign disappears, the pile-on begins. Suddenly, what was once whispered online became material on stage. This wasn't random cruelty. It was delayed honesty.
Whenever the kids are being fussy and not going to bed, she puts on an episode of Suits and they're out. So, what are you doing? Ow! Stop it! Yeah. Stop!
Many entertainers had been holding back, waiting to see if criticism would be allowed. Once it was safe, the floodgates opened. The shift wasn't just jokes, it was tone. Respect turned to disbelief, then to outright ridicule. At that point, the narrative was no longer controlled by PR teams. The comedians owned it now.
The royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashian. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as a Nazi, and he f***ed up.
The attempt to pivot into aspirational lifestyle content became one of the most mocked elements in the entire saga. Simple, everyday actions were packaged as revolutionary wisdom, and audiences weren't impressed. Rebagging snacks, over-explaining water preparation, and presenting basic habits as premium living all screamed detachment. Viewers didn't see inspiration. They saw performative wealth pretending to be relatability. that gap between intention and perception became meme fuel overnight.
No more following Granny's rules. Don't wear your pants on your head, Harry. Don't bath on the butler, Harry. If I want to play polo in my living room, who's gonna stop me?
Stop that.
Once influencers joined in, parody videos reached millions. At that point, the brand lost all seriousness. When people laugh instead of admire, there's no coming back from that. American comedy was gentle compared to what came from across the Atlantic. British comedians brought history, context, and brutal honesty into their routines. The contradictions were laid bare. Feminism paired with royal privilege. Rebellion paired with inherited status. Independence paired with constant complaining. British audiences understand royalty deeply, and they spotted hypocrisy immediately. These jokes weren't just funny, they were culturally informed, and that made them sting much more.
Harry, get your limey ginger ass down here and clear this up!
There was no exaggeration needed. Reality itself had already done the work. No matter how the rebrand evolved, certain moments kept resurfacing, moments that didn't align with the new humanitarian image. Comedy doesn't forget. Once something enters public memory, it becomes permanent material. Attempts to reposition as morally evolved figures clashed badly with documented behavior from the past. Audiences saw the disconnect. The transformation didn't feel earned. It felt rushed, artificial, and convenient. When comedy shines a light on those inconsistencies, there's nowhere to hide.
I wanted to know what color the kid would be. I did too. I was like, he's gonna be super, super light skinned? What black will we see? We all wanted to know.
The streaming documentary was supposed to clarify everything. Instead, it aggravated audiences. Many viewers went in neutral and came out irritated. The tone, the pacing, and the constant self-reference drained goodwill rapidly. Real issues were buried under personal grievances and branding moments. Serious topics deserved seriousness, but they were wrapped in aesthetic shots and scripted intimacy. That contrast frustrated viewers. By the end, even sympathetic watchers had turned cynical.
Hold it steady, you ginger pots! Hello, followers. You know little old me is a high-profile, high-success, global brand-creating, vulnerable, and humble business leader. Which means I no longer have time for my lifestyle show, which was such a hit that I'm now in talks with Netflix to pivot to 6 seasons of no more episodes. I've decided my time is better spent doing less, and so I'll be coming on here to patronize you through your phone.
When a project designed to win empathy achieves the opposite, it's a devastating failure. There's a limit to how much victimhood audiences will tolerate, especially from people with wealth, status, and platforms. Once that threshold is crossed, patience evaporates. Many comedians pointed out the obvious. Everyone struggles, but not everyone monetizes it endlessly. Constant framing as uniquely burdened figures rubbed people the wrong way. Relatability turned into resentment. Instead of being inspirational survivors, they became symbols of elite complaint culture.
Just a great series about a rich, white, dysfunctional family, all scheming. Oh no, that's The Crown. That's The Crown. I'm sorry.
What made things truly telling was not just public mockery, but quiet social distancing. Invitations dried up. Associating publicly became risky. Even places they visited turned into spectacles, frustrating people around them. That's a red flag in celebrity culture. When even neutral interactions cause disruption, resentment follows. Once peers found someone exhausting rather than inspiring, the collapse accelerates silently.
Meg does her little phony like, I'm so busy just doing like so much wealthy stuff. I have the show, the podcast, I'm a duchess, I have all this wealth. It's just so many busy things as a wealthy person.
So busy?
It was so fake. I was like, oh.
Animated satire and sketch comedy nailed the situation because it exaggerated nothing. That's why it worked. When satire mirrors reality instead of distorting it, the target is already finished. The jokes weren't wrong, they were precise. That's why they hurt. And that's why attempts to silence or pressure smaller satirists only backfired. Removing content doesn't erase impressions. It confirms them. Instead of laughing it off or retreating, the pattern continued. Complaints, corrections, pressure, and lawsuits. Every move amplified the criticism. Audiences don't support people who try to control perception aggressively. The more resistance shown, the more scrutiny increased. What could have faded quietly turned into a long-term reputation problem. The worst part? This wasn't done by enemies. It was self-inflicted. At the end of the day, this situation proves one brutal truth. You can't build a brand on grievance alone. Sympathy has an expiration date, and audiences demand authenticity, not performance. The jokes didn't destroy their image, the overexposure did. Comedy simply reflected what people were already thinking, but were afraid to say. Instead of reinvention, we witnessed repetition. Instead of growth, defensiveness. And instead of privacy, constant visibility. The opportunity to reset was there, but it was wasted. Whether they can course correct now is questionable, because once ridicule replaces respect, winning the audience back becomes almost impossible. Let us know what you think in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dives into celebrity narratives that fall apart in plain sight.